Hey everybody, this is Joe. I'm here in Houston and I'm in zone 9A, and I am gonna show you, I just did a video on the front yard garden, and now I'm gonna show you the backyard. Hey Buttercup, Buttercup's helping me. He and his little collar with his little bell follow me around a little bit. The first thing I'm going to show you, I'm starting on the ugly old driveway, but I wanted to show you, this is the passion vine that I grow for the Gulf fritillary butterfly caterpillars, and it is starting to take off now, so I'm excited about that. And then all along, look how cute, this is a Mexican fleabane, tiny little daisy-like flower, and I planted these from seed. I ordered them, and they have remained evergreen and very tough, and I cut them back and they don't seem to mind at the beginning of the spring. This is Climbing Iceberg, which is a really beautiful rose. This was here when we moved in 16 years ago, but there were a whole lot more of them. This is the last one, but I think it's a really good rose. And then this is, I think, Felicia. So sweet. And then this wonderful rose up here. So I've got two roses kind of intertwined. This pale pink is Cecile Brunner. Look how lovely. And it is really taken off. I'm hoping it will bloom all year. It only bloomed for me once last year, and it's really, you know, the internet says it's supposed to bloom longer than that. But I love that it's got little buds so that my sweet neighbor next door can see them. And then as that is coming out, what's gone over is Mrs. B. Arcant, which was beautiful last week. Here's more of Cecile Brunner. And my bright idea is very vigorous, is to see if I can get something put up here so I can train it on the garage, and that would be kind of fun. And looking beautiful, still, they last forever, are calanchos of different kinds. And I've got lots of little seedlings coming up, which is always fun. If you want some seeds that will give you instant satisfaction, this is basil. All the ones over there, it's all basil. And I needed basil for a meal I was making last night, and night before last. And so this one was full, and I just pulled a ton of the little baby seed leaves off and sprinkled it like a garnish, and left some for later. I don't really need 500 basil plants. I love this little wine cup. It's a native plant and a perennial, and it looks so pretty. I love it. And these cone flowers are looking amazing. I just felt a raindrop. Who knows how long this will last. This, I think, is white swan. So beautiful. I think this is just a native variety of coneflower. And then I just bought this the other day. I'm gonna try it. It looks like it's pale pink bravado. We'll kind of see. It looks like it's gonna be pretty tall, probably like these, but I thought it'd be fun to see what we think about that color as well. Here is this wonderful fennel I'm growing for the Eastern black swallowtails. Is already starting to bloom so prettily, and I had swallowtail eggs on here a couple weeks ago, and then something immediately ate them all, and so I have yet to see any caterpillars on there. And this sweet Texas bluebonnet and the little Minoan lace in there. And then let me give you kind of a look all the way across. It's looking so pretty. I just love, spring. It's just amazing. This is another coneflower. This is Powwow Wild Berry. It's a hybrid, and it looks fantastic. And I've got some, meanwhile, another one died right here. And then I've got a bunch in the front that are still like 1 inch tall. So you know, that more gardening. Who knows why that is? Also, I love a mystery plant. I feel like maybe this is going to be phlox, because I think at some point I had phlox in this pot, but this just came up. I just keep watching it just to see what'll happen. And then I had, y'all, beetles. I had milkweed beetles come and just eat all the milkweed. I've been stomping on them for a week. And I keep finding here and there. You see in there is a little monarch butterfly caterpillar right there. And I'll actually move him. That's kind of the only green. This whole patch is all milkweed that all got eaten by not what I am growing it for, which would be monarch caterpillars, but by the milkweed beetles, which just trashed it. And then all these little daylilies are looking so pretty. And all of that pink on the ground there, that's all evening primrose, which is just a wildflower. Here's the handsome boy. You show everybody your orange tummy. You're just about as cute as they come. And then this is Nearly Wild, which is perking up. It's got lots of pretty flowers on it. And these are just, you know, I have found that little violas will reseed. I didn't plant these. These are from, you know, years past. And so I always make sure I left, you know, I'll deadhead, but I always make sure I leave some seed heads to develop. And then these are the, oh gosh, what are those called now that I'm pointing them out? Oh, it's a daisy. It's a native plant. Oh, it'll come to me. I'll have to think about what these are called. They're looking good. That's why I'm showing them to you, but now I can't think of the name. This is Mexican hat, which was so fabulous on this side in the fall all year. And then I trimmed off all the dead part, and then it all puffed out on this side. And it's got lots and lots of little buds, which I'm excited about. But I'm hoping it will come out this way. And I've got some coneflowers tucked in here, and there's one there. And I think some of these are white. And then down in here, just hiding down in here, threadleaf coreopsis. That's moonbeam, is that pale yellow. Aren't those sweet? And then I think this is an Amy tucked in here. It's not very big, but we'll see what happens. And then the prettiest stand of bluebonnets. And I love the primrose mixed in. That's the prettiest in the yard. I've got my succulent theater, which the succulents look fine, and I've pulled out the most pitiful bluebonnets. Look how awful. But I'm just waiting for some of the flowers to go to seed so I can have some free seeds for next year. See, it's all ready. These wonderful fuzzy seed pods. And usually I will deadhead these, even though they're a wildflower, just so I get more flowers. And this is my neighbor. He always has music blasting when he comes up his driveway. Anyway, I'm just letting these go to seed ASAP, and so I can get them out of here and blow all the leaves out and burn all the little weeds. And then this can be tidy looking, and I think it'll be really pretty. I'll go back down there in a second. I heard the AC turn on. I don't want to be so loud. You won't be able to hear me. This is Souvenir de Saint Anne, and it is just coming out for a second round here. Really beautiful, pale pink. It looks really pretty, and I'm so happy. This is the first time I've ever really had a ton of this Verbena bonariensis, which is fabulous. It makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm in a little English garden. And then tucked back in here, I've got some Mystic Spire salvia, and I've got my carrots coming up over there. And then this clump here is Peter's Purple Monarda, and it is gonna bloom. It'll get much taller, get another foot taller, and bloom in a couple of weeks, and it'll be really fantastic. And then some more of this Mystic Spire. Some of them are really looking like big, healthy plants, and they're just starting to put on some buds. This is Souvenir de la Malmaison, which is one of my very favorites. And I had thrips, but they didn't seem so bad. And so, you know, I've had things that I really thought weren't going to open. They have opened. And this is one of them. And then this is crazy. This is my little rose with the French name, Clotilde Super. You have to pretend you're from France to say it. Look at this, y'all. Incredible. So many flowers. So many flowers. That pale pink. And even though the buds look terrible, they're still opening. I really thought I had a big thrip problem. And they really have opened okay. See how they're a little bit deformed, but they're still opening. And so I'm counting that as a win. And they are so heavy, you can see how it's hanging down because the flowers are so heavy. There's so many of them. This is amazing. It just does this in the spring. It'll bloom a little bit here and there, but I don't get this all the time. It's magnificent. And these are looking really good. This is Rockwall Sesquicentennial. And it's really pretty. And I'm getting lots and lots of new growth. This rose has struggled. And so I'm really happy that it's got new growth. And then let me come back here. I've got carrots here are coming up really fluffy and nice. And then, okay, I'm trying a new experiment along the lines of planting carrots for their flowers. These are just onions. I just bought onion sets, a handful of onions for a couple of dollars. And onions are they're in the allium family. And they will have big, puffy flowers, like a long stalk and a puff ball at the end. And I thought, why not? For a couple of bucks, why not see if they will bloom for me and be pretty and be ornamental for me. And if they're not very ornamental, I'll still have, I will still have onions that I've grown. This is a native plant. This is a native verbena called Gulf Vervain. And then this, I think, is Amidara here. And I've got my little beans coming up to grow on this. That's a purple hyacinth bean vine. And then look at this amazing, this just planted itself back here. That's a big old coneflower. And I just leave it. I think they're kind of hard to transplant. And so I'm leaving it. And look how beautiful this Verbena bonariensis is. And it's all kind of mixed in here. It's a little overcrowded, right? But I've got the evening primrose peeking through, and the verbena here, and the monarda here, and then this is really getting ready to pop. This Mystic Spires. And there's another Mystic Spires there. So it looks wonderful. And more carrots over there. And then, this is Rattlesnake Master. And it is really getting big. It's a native plant, and it's got a funky flower, and that's why I'm growing it. And it sort of fell over last year, so maybe I need to support it. I'm not really sure what to do. This is lyre-leaf sage, and look at that pretty color, and it was just covered a couple days ago. And then I've got my beautiful crinum lilies here. And this is Caldwell Pink, which is just starting to bud. This is the one of the latest roses to bloom here. And then here I've got this beautiful clump. This is Salvia Amonti. So it is a pink variety, and it's really pretty. And I've pinched it back. You can see how I've pinched the middles back so I can get more flowers. And so I've done that. I've tried to hit every single one of them to pinch back the middle and double the flowers. And this beautiful rose, I'm really climbing back in here for y'all this time. Oh, see, and look, I've put more just little onion. These are regular onions. I've put some in just to see what'll happen. And I've got some random things coming up here. This is the Duranta, which got huge, and has frozen down to the ground 2 years in a row and has been fine. And I liked growing it up inside of this last year. It kind of helped it stand up straight. And so I thought I'd do that again this year. And more carrots here. More Verbena bonariensis here. And then this is Excellence von Schubert. And so this is the happy side of the story. Amazing. And they have about, on average, I counted one year, about between, these are sort of first round, it's about 10 or 12 buds, but then later in the year, the second round will have approximately 20 little flowers in each cluster. But now for the rest of the story, which is it rained and it got heavy and it's lopsided. And look what happened. I came out and this was laying on the ground. This half is dead, but it is I still have it, just because it grew through here, I still have it supported on a metal support. This metal support was holding these little ones. I didn't have anything. And so with this being weakened because this part is dead, and this is just so much greenery, all that green is all on this one stem, and it got really heavy in the rain and it broke off, split. So we've propped it up, and I'm not really sure what to do. But as I'm sure I've mentioned before, I have a ghost plant, which is, I knew this plant's about 20 years old, and I knew that I knew it was failing a little bit. And so here is another Excellence von Schubert that I planted about 3 years ago, 3 or 4. So that I've got something that when this one completely dies, hopefully later rather than sooner, I will still have an Excellence von Schubert here. It's a magnificent rose. It's this whole giant thing. So I've got something going on here, and that's fun. And then I've got, this is a salvia that was new to me last year, and it's kind of spreading. I'm happy about it. This is salvia, it's Forsythia sage. I don't know why I can't think of the Latin name, but it has sort of, spread a little bit, and it was that yellow sage. Beautiful. And I kind of put this, it gets tall and blooms in the fall. And so I'm just supporting one mostly because I have this support out here and I know what else to do with it. So we'll see if that helps it stand up. And then this carrot, oh my goodness, y'all haven't been back here in a day or two. This carrot is getting ready to bloom right there. I have a little snail. I don't need that little snail to eat the flowers. Scoot. Anyway, that's what we're looking for. These are just grocery store carrots. And then I've got more of the bean vine, the hyacinth bean vine, coming up from seed that will cover this again. I really liked that last year. It looked great. And so I am growing hyacinth bean vine on 2 structures, and they ended up being a really big structure in the garden that lasted for most of the year, and really made a difference as far as taking up this big space in the middle. It was wonderful. My grasses are coming back. Here's a little man. This is salvia. Oh, are you chasing a squirrel? I don't know what you think you're going to do if you caught a squirrel. Too late. This is salvia leucantha. And I sort of moved things, and it's really, some of it is catching up. The pieces that I dug up and moved a couple of weeks ago looked pretty pitiful for a long time, and now it's sort of all come up. And I have a little piece in the front I might be putting up here. This is more of that native, and this is native to Mexico and kind of Texas. And this is more of that native verbena that gets tall and a little bit floaty and has sort of a hint of Verbena bonariensis about it, right? Here's some more of that Forsythia sage. And then this, big old pot. It's in the middle here. It's here all the time because the bottom is broken out. So it's basically a bottomless pot. And so all the roots in here are going down into the ground. That is a gomphrena, and it lasted just fine. This gomphrena, I really thought it was an annual, and it has just lasted great as a perennial. And then, oh, I almost walked past this. This is the headline news. That's my Texas redbud. How sad is that? They're gorgeous all over town, and this is just a mess. So, but I have to say, this is more flowers than I got last year. So, and then this huge clump, this is Salvia amistad, and I did the same thing here a couple days ago. Clipped the middle, so I would get more flowers, and it's just beautiful. So happy there. And here I've got a little bit of that large penta, and I think it's a little bit yellow. These are not that happy this year, and I think I'm going to maybe fertilize that and see if I can get that to look a little better. And then this huge group, this huge clump, is bog sage, Salvia uliginosa, and it will be blue flowers, and it grows now. It has migrated. I planted it over there 15 years ago, and it is slowly, it goes by rhizomes, but not really vigorously. They're coming this way, and so now it's getting a little more sun than it used to, but it will grow in very deep shade, and so I recommend it. But also, I don't know where you can get it. I haven't seen it in the trade in a long time. Hey, Butters. I'm going to say hello to all your fans. What a boy. And this is Gulf Coast penstemon, and it is so beautiful. Little native penstemon. I love it. And I have a bunch of seeds. I'm trying to grow it from seed. I got some volunteers in the gravel that I've moved into the bed, but I'm not sure how it's going for me actually seeding it on purpose. And then you guys, look at the geraniums. Amazing. This is an ivy geranium. This is a regular geranium that I bought months ago, kind of when nothing else was for sale in the stores, and they're doing really well. But those won't make that. I don't expect those to make it through the heat. No way. This is from last year, and so it's doing really well. So pretty. And then here's my scented geranium. Has got some little flowers on it too. And oh, here, look, right here, there, he's here for it. That's the beetle you don't want. Look at him. He looks like a big orange ladybug. So in the same way as last week, look away. They are not allowed, but they're just trashing my milkweed. He's a milkweed beetle. But I do have some monarch caterpillars in here, and some over there, and I'll show you some over here. And then, my goodness, that's diamond frost euphorbia. So pretty. It comes back. I didn't protect it. It does great here as a perennial. Are you posing? He says I'm posing. Salt for you cat lovers. We're just going to stop. And then I found another ivy geranium at Lowe's on the sale rack for $4. So I bought another one. Not that I have room for it or need it, but there it is. Let's see if I can find you a caterpillar. They were everywhere earlier. Where are you? I hope nobody came along and ate all of you, there's one. There's one right there. A little monarch caterpillar. So fun. I love it. I probably have about 10 out here. And then I'm just waiting for my pipevine swallowtails. Look how gorgeous the pipevine looks. I've never had it look that good in my life. I'm so happy. And these beautiful calanchos looking so great. And this is another ivy geranium that made it through through the winter, through the year for me. That's from last year. And these begonias, oh my goodness, I cut it back and it did not disappoint. And then these are from last year also, and look how much, this is another ivy geranium, and it was really just goofy looking, and now it came out with a bunch of new greenery this spring, and look how many flower stalks. And this is also from last year, and then this is the new one. It's so beautiful. And that came back really nicely as well. I cut that begonia back pretty hard. And then, oh, let me look back, let me walk back here. Go a little, this is very ratty back here and very weedy. I mean, it's all weedy, friends, but this is very weedy back here. But I wanted to show you, this is the oak leaf hydrangea, and it seems just fine. I cut it back, and it's just doing really nicely. And then I've got a little, this is like a kind of coral nymph salvia, but it's a dwarf variety that I got at the store a year or two ago, and it's just sort of pops up here and there, but it doesn't really get any bigger than that, and I really, really like that one. It's getting dark on me. I think it's gonna rain. I've got native things all in the back here looking so good. This is Turk's cap, and that's a wax myrtle. These bushes up here are Walter's viburnum. Down here, these are, was it autumn wood fern, something like that? Those are all 4 native plants. And then as a nice surprise, I'm actually gonna get some iris blooms. It's usually too shady back here, and I don't know why they've decided to bloom. So, I mean, watch this space. I'm really excited about that. They don't really bloom very much. And crinum lilies and amaryllis is coming up. And then here's Gulf Coast penstemon here as well. So happy with that. This has been finicky for me. I think it's too dry under here. And so it's been very finicky for me, but I'm thrilled that it has popped up and looks so pretty. There's Old Blush. And a lot of things that are new and kind of coming in. This is a Salvia farinacea. That's a native Texas salvia, and it should be 3 times that tall. It's just, these seem to be coming along very slowly, and so I'm just sort of letting it limp along. That is Sweet Hermione. It is like there is a light inside of it. It just shines. I love it. Here is a nice big Texas rock rose, and I'm trying to restrain myself. I want to plant things all over here, but what really needs to happen is for that to be a whole puffball and not just all lean one direction. So I'm leaving this hoping that it will puff out. These are little native plants right here. That is lance leaf coreopsis, Texas bluebonnet, and then this I threw out tons and tons, thousands of seeds of the Mexican hat. I got 1 plant, so I'm really happy there, and that'll fill in even more. It'll be great. I have room when all the bluebonnets around it have gone on. And my huge spider lily, and these are wonderful. Amaryllis, these were my mother's. And this is a fleece flower, although a million things are called fleece flower, and so I can't really tell you exactly which plant that is. Here's my weed patch that I leave for various and sundry creatures, especially in the early spring. This is indigo, is that right? And it takes a sweet time coming up. It never blooms for me. But it's a native plant. I've never seen a butterfly. I've never seen a caterpillar on it, but I'm growing it as a host plant for a Texas butterfly. False indigo. It's false indigo. But it's never pretty. It's just a sad plant. And then here, and then again, weeds. It's just like it's behind my little thing. my little fence that's protecting it from every week. This generator does a 15-minute test, and it blows hot air. That's what this whole fence is about. But because you can't see it, it's very out of sight, out of mind back here. So these are weeds. And then this is a Texas kidneywood, which took a big hit in the hurricane. It snapped the top off. And so I'm not even going to try to grow it as a little tree. I'm going to let it be the big shrub it really wants to be in its heart. This is parsley hawthorn. And this is the best this little tree has ever looked. I bought it because I saw one blooming at Buchanan's Native Plants out by the loading dock. And I was like, what's that? And it's blooming right now. So mine is not caught up with the one at Buchanan's. Theirs is blooming right now. But I think it's a butterfly host as well, and it's a native Texas little ornamental tree. It's a pretty small tree. And then I apologize, it's going to be loud back here, but I'm going to show you my coral honeysuckle. Scoot, kitty. Look at this, y'all. It's incredible. This is native coral honeysuckle, and I am just amazed by it. I'm gonna have to keep cutting it off of what's growing here. There's the back of my wax myrtle that's in the front yard, so that's native. This is a coral berry. It looks gorgeous. That's native. This is a arrowwood viburnum, native, and this has berries for birds. This has berries for birds. This has berries for birds. So, and they're all native. And then this is native, and it has nectar for hummingbirds. And so I'm really trying, even though this is sort of a forgotten space back here, I'm trying to have some useful plants for the landscape. And then I'll just end up here. This pot, I have gotten this particular kind of begonia to last me 2 years in this pot. This is all new, kind of pooped out last year. But if I can find this sort of peachy and white combo begonia, that's what makes it here. I've put other begonias here and they don't make it through the year. But these, it's shade most of the time. But it gets a couple hours, an hour or two coming from over here during the day, and then the rest of the time it's in full shade. And my goodness, this is the best. I don't love this begonia. It's color, it's kind of peachy, but if you can find that one, it'll last the longest. And then I've got my leftover. These are the only cyclamen I have left, and so I have them out here. Well, y'all, thanks for coming along on this little walk with me and looking at my pretty spring garden. Thank you for all of your sweet comments. I'm a little behind on comments, responding to them, but I will respond to your comments. And you guys are just the best, and I love hearing from you. And I hope that you will go to some other YouTube channels that I want to recommend to you. There is one called The Plant Ninja Texas Gardener. There is one called Gulf Coast Butterfly Garden, and one called Butterflies and Birds in the Backyard. And so I say hello to my friends at those sites. I'm thinking of Rachel today at the Gulf Coast Butterfly Garden channel. She is a precious friend, and she is the reason that I have bought and am growing Cecile Brunner rose. And so I always saw hers on her big trellis, and I was like, I gotta have me one of those. So here it is. Say hello to Rachel. That's her flower. Y'all take care. I hope your garden is growing great. Bye-bye.